Coming up on UT 10 News in HD, we'll look into how students can register to vote early.
And we'll also check out a unique corn maze in nearby White House.
Plus, Kristen Rosendale has highlights from volleyball, soccer, and the Glass Bowl. Your news in 10 minutes starts now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mackenzie Keyline.
And I'm Vince DiGuglielmo. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among college students.
Reporter Vicrina Aberdeen tells us the red flags to look for.
According to the American Association of Suicidology, more than 1,000 suicides occur on college campuses each year. University of Toledo Counseling Center director says why college students fall victim to suicide.
There's pressures to perform, there's higher expectations. If you don't measure up, it's either all or nothing. And so some people have that all or nothing mentality.
There are several warning signs to look for, such as isolation and mood swings. A UT student who recently lost their friend to suicide recommends seeking help for yourself or a loved one.
If you see anything that has changed in your friend or family, let someone else know.
If you or a loved one is considering suicide, visit the counseling center located at Rocket Hall or call the suicide helpline before it's too late. I'm Vicrina Aberdeen for UT 10 News.
Students who are not registered to vote in Toledo can still fill out a ballot. Reporter Natasha Gordon looked into how students can participate in absentee voting.
Over a third of the Lucas County population is expected to vote early for the presidential election. Any registered voter unable to attend their polling location can make sure that their voice is still heard by casting an absentee vote. Board of Election Manager states why some people may want to vote early.
If you have classes during the day or during the night, or you're working and going to class, voting by absentee offers you the opportunity to come vote at your convenience.
A UT student also explains why absentee voting is needed.
I don't have time. I'd have to schedule a day off from work and school and make sure that I can go.
By applying to vote absentee, these people can complete ballots and mail them to their Board of Elections. The Lucas County Early Voting Center will be located at Summit Plaza. Early voting will begin on Tuesday, October 2nd and end on Friday, November 2nd. I'm Natasha Gordon for UT 10 News.
The law school had a special guest speaker. Stephanie Spencer was at the 32nd Canon Lecture Series on Thursday afternoon.
Judge Nancy Gertner spoke to students and faculty in the Law Center auditorium. Gertner is a graduate of Yale Law School, a former U.S. District Court judge, and a longtime advocate for women's and civil rights. Gertner discussed former cases and gave advice on how to have a fulfilling career.
Doing what you love. Doing it not for money, but doing it for the satisfaction of having done it.
Gertner also met with students at a book signing after the lecture.
I really enjoyed the fervor and passion she displayed, even still now after practicing since the 70s.
Who the next speaker in the Canon Lecture Series will be hasn't been decided, but it will continue in the spring of 2013 here at the Law Center. I'm Stephanie Spencer for UT 10 News.
UT's American Language Institute held a picnic on Friday.
Reporter Rosalind Muniz was at the inaugural event.
Over 50 people gathered in front of Snyder Memorial to celebrate 35 years of English language classes offered by UT's American Language Institute. The picnic celebration included games, a free lunch, and international student speakers.
For a lot of international students at UT, this is their gateway into the university. If they don't have the English, they don't get very far, so it starts here.
This was the first anniversary the Institute has ever celebrated.
It's passed with a hard time, and sometimes they want us to close it, and they resist for that, and it's open.
The American Language Institute plans on having a picnic on campus every year. I'm Rosalind Muniz for UT 10 News.
The second oldest women's center in the country had a makeover this summer. The Catherine S. Eberly Center distributed a survey to community women, which resulted in several upgrades. The center, located in Tucker Hall, celebrated their namesake's 90th birthday by installing new carpet, replacing old furniture, and repainting. A lactation room was also added for non-traditional students who want to breastfeed in private.
The quiet room which is already in our center, we thought this was a room that we could easily convert into a lactation station and have an opportunity for women to come here in a secure, welcoming environment.
If you're interested in using the lactation room or other services offered at the Eberly Center, call 419-530-8570. Getting lost at UT has a whole new meaning this fall. Wheeler Farms in White House has captured the Battle of I-75 in a corn maze, which opened September 8th. The design is made up of 4 mazes, stretching a total of 6.2 miles over 16 acres. Owner Duke Wheeler says the maze is a way to give back to UT and BG.
These universities are really responsible for helping our community turn around. You know, their students are excellent, and we want to have them stay in the community.
For more information on prices and hours of operation, head to www.whitehousecornmaze.com. The athletic department held its first ever garage sale on Wednesday. The UT community had a chance to buy new and previously worn Rocket sports gear at Savage Arena. Students could purchase football cleats to baseball jerseys and new Under Armour gear. The profits will be used to purchase new jerseys and equipment for all Rocket sports teams. The athletic marketing director, Heather Lutz, says Rocket gear is a hot commodity around town.
Fans love what the team has worn before or is currently wearing. So that's what this is for, is to get those items out.
The sale raised about $6,000 for the athletic department.
It was an exciting weekend in Rocket sports. The volleyball team took on the Buffalo Bulls, the football team faced Coastal Carolina, and the soccer team challenged Eastern Michigan. But first, let's start at the court. Coming into the match with a 6-7 record, the volleyball team was looking to break even. Buffalo started strong by taking the first set 25-15, but the Rockets came into the second with a new fire after Brooke Frazier sends the Bulls diving to win the second set. After dominating the third, the Rockets look to win the game. And when Alex Hines sets up Dakota Harkins for this kill, the Rockets defeat the Bulls 3-1. Now onto the field, where the Rockets look to send Coastal Carolina back to the beach. The Rockets came out of the gate a little slow as Coastal Carolina dominated the first quarter, starting with this pass from Aramis Hillary to Demario Bennett. He's down at the 1. The next play sends Coastal's Jeremy Height rushing for the first TD of the game. Rockets still down, but they are back with a vengeance in this 6-yard TD pass to Cordell Scott, putting them up 10-3. Into the second quarter, Rockets with momentum now. T.O. sends one long to Bernard Reedy. It's complete for the Rockets' second touchdown. It was a high-scoring game, but the Rockets finally put away the Chanticleers after Owens takes one in on his own, and Cordell Scott seals the deal with a 7-yard pass, making the final score 38-28 Rockets. Coach Campbell says despite the win, there's always room for improvement.
I think we continue to show areas where we continue to get better, and we show areas where we got to continue to work on little things to get better, and I think all it is for us is consistency.
Wrapping up the weekend was the soccer team. They faced their second MAC opponent, Eastern Michigan, on Sunday. The Rockets struggled throughout the game against Eastern's defense, but the Eagle offense came to play, scoring the first goal of the game. The Rockets stepped it up in the second half as Rachel Kravitz sends one wide and Angelica Hernandez is stuffed by the Eastern goalie. But they were no match for the Eagles as Bianca Rossi scores the final goal, ending the game with Toledo trailing Eastern 3-0. Coach Brad Evans reflects after the team's 7th loss of the season.
We were a little bit disjointed, and as things broke down, became more disjointed rather than being able to sort of solve problems on the fly. And I think that was, a little bit of a coaching issue, a little bit of a player issue.
Thanks, Kristen. Well, that's it for UT10 News. For the latest breaking news from campus, go to our website, ut10news.com.
And you can always watch our award-winning newscast on YouTube and Facebook, where you can get caught up on all of your campus news whenever you want. For Vince DiGuglielmo, Kristen Rosendale, and all of our crew, I'm Mackenzie Keyline. Have a great week and stay tuned for more news from the UT campus.